Hello, welcome back to Duty's Daggers. We are talking about the Quiet Carry Drift today. I want to review this baby. Um, Last month, and a little bit of this month too, there was pretty heavy rainstorms in my area, and whenever it's dumping outside, I like to carry this knife. Before I had this knife, I carried a Spyderco Salt series, another rust-proof knife. But now I have this. So this is my dedicated, you know, anti-rust knife. You can do anything in any kind of water, salt water, rain, anything, and it won't rust. There will be no corrosion forms on this thing. The blade steel is Vanex, which is a very, very stainless steel. Titanium scales, stainless hardware. Everything is completely stainless, which is really cool because I don't know about you guys, but if I'm carrying a knife that's not necessarily stainless and I get it wet, I don't really care if the blade forms some patina or rust spots, but I really don't like the idea of that happening inside the pivot. That's like triggers my OCD. I'm like, no, no moisture can get in this area. Like, ugh, ooh, please no. Even when I like wash a blade off in the sink, if it's not a stainless knife like this, I'm very careful not to get the water past this line. I know a little bit of water probably wouldn't do anything, but I don't know. I'm just weird about that. But with this knife, don't have to even think about it. You have this knife in your pocket, working outside in the rain. You can take it out, do some cutting. Um, don't even have to think twice about it. It's never gonna rust. That's cool. Also, this texture really, really is important, I think, on this knife because it is something you're going to be using in a wet environment. And this gripping texture is very, very good. Really, really grips your hand. It's a fine sort of grid pattern texturing that not only looks really cool but feels great. It's not like too abrasive. It's just abrasive enough to really feel like this isn't going to come out of your hands. Um, they use this texture on some of their other knives, a lot of their other knives actually. It's kind of their signature texture, and it's one of my favorites. Um, so, Quiet Carry, they make a lot of great knives. In fact, the 9 was my knife of the year for last year, and it's a fantastic knife. Right here, you can see the same texture on the 9 here. Um, Not a rust-proof knife, so it's more of like a everyday EDC thing for me. Um, this is more of a wet environment EDC thing, and I carry it when it's not raining. But um, I'm choosing to review it right now because I just got done carrying this a lot, pretty much for a week straight when it was pouring rain. So it's on my mind, and I really had a great time carrying this. So let's do some measurements really quickly. Blade is 3 inches long. Handle is about 4 inches long. Overall, about 7 inches long. How easy is that? We're looking at really thin blade stock, which makes this thing slice so well. 85 thousandths, that's even thinner than a TRM, believe it or not. Here's the TRM Shadow, which is a very thin blade stock compared to most knives, but it's actually even thinner than that. Um, Man, this thing slices. Ugh. Not only the blade is thin, but the whole handle is thin. Very low profiled knife. Carries really nicely. Behind the edge, we are looking at 11 thousandths right there. About 12 right there, and then up toward the tip, thickens up to about 17 thousandths. Oh yeah, that is perfection. You want it a little thicker towards the tip so it's not fragile. You want it nice and thin back here for slicing, which it is. This blade was ground, are ground. These blades are ground very, very well. Really, really well. Sharpening choil, really nice and tight radius on that thing. Blade termination's way out here. Um, you're never going to get a smile or a weird, ugly spot there in the plunge grind. It's going to be forever good as far as that goes. The thumb stud is nice and out of the sharpening path, pretty much kind of right in line with the plunge right there. So it's never going to get in the way. Nice stonewash on the blade. You can kind of see some of the belt sander lines too, actually, showing through. Minimal billboarding, just a very small quiet carry there. Very small Van X on the other side. Really nice drop point blade. Just kind of a, very versatile blade shape. Nice drop, tipped. A lot of belly. But we got some straight edge too for when you want that. Pretty versatile, for utility cutting, you got to raise up a decent amount to get to the tip, but it's not something to where it would be annoying if you just need to do a couple utility cuts in the day. If I was doing a lot of utility cutting, I'd grab another knife. But for day-to-day stuff, this is perfect. So the coloring here is actually a later release. More recently, they came out with this one with the brown. It's almost like a purpley brown. I really like the color a lot. Coloring, but originally they were just plain. They might have had a blue anodized one. I'm not sure. They've had G10 ones also with the G10 and then titanium lockside. But I always wanted the full tie one with this texture, and I finally got it. This is a knife that I kind of lusted after for a long, long time, probably like a full year. They're not always in stock. I mean, these are popular knives, and they're smaller company. They can't make knives fast enough to meet the demands, I don't think, or at least that's what it seems like. So you have to kind of wait for them to come back. Actually, the drifts are more in stock more readily, I think, than like the 9. The 9s are pretty much impossible to. You can't just go out and buy one. You have to wait for the drops. But yeah, what else? We get the wire clip, which is nice and short, really nice and short. I don't like long clips, just don't like them. The relief cut is on the inside right there. So this thing slides in and out of your pocket so nicely on this smooth titanium surface. Really nice. Very deep carry. You got a lanyard hole that doesn't go through both sides, so it keeps that show side nice and clean. Just goes through that lock side scale. I like when they do that. Gives you a spot for lanyard if you want it. If you don't want it, doesn't. It's not an eyesore. By the way, speaking of the show side, no visible hardware. I love that. These are just, capped nuts here, pivot and the two bodies. You just screw them from the back. T8s all around, even for the steel lock bar insert. Really nicely constructed. Now, Quiet Carry has not disclosed who actually makes their knives, but whoever it is does an absolutely incredible job with fit and finish and just really everything. Their knives feel very unique, which makes me think they're not made in China. I really think it's Taiwan somewhere because just something about them, man. If you've handled one or a few Quiet Carries, you know what I'm talking about. They just feel different. Something about the finish on the titanium, the excellent fit and finish. I mean, everything is just so nicely done. Corners very nicely rounded and soft. Very, very smooth washer action. This is on washers, by the way, if I didn't say that. Very, very smooth. Not like drop shut or anything, but more of a hydraulic action where there's no kind of, stuttering, like catchiness like this kind of thing, but more of like a just smooth as crap. Feels great. But, you don't have to solo roll it. You can flick it. You can reverse flick it. The choke up spot is really nice and roomy and comfortable. That was one thing I kind of was missing on the Drift Large is they took away this choke up spot, and I don't know. I like them. I like them both ways, but I do like the choke up spot a lot. Um, this is a lightweight knife too. Let's get out the scale. There's a lot of milling on the inside. Deep, deep pockets in there. 2.8 ounces. Let's check the 9. 4. Yeah, really lightweight for being full titanium. And man, does this thing carry just so well. Like I said, it's really thin compared to the 9 there. You can see how thin it is. It's just a really great package here. Super slicing capabilities, really comfortable ergonomics, a lot of control over the edge. I like when I can get my pointer finger all the way to the tip of a knife. Just feels kind of, I don't know, it makes it feel like more a part of your hand. Especially when there's a choke up spot. I like putting my middle finger in that choil and then my pointer finger out on the tip, kind of like grab the knife around its neck, kind of with this finger. It just feels so secure, like I can just put a ton of pressure into the cuts. It just feels great. I love this knife. I really like it. I really don't have any nitpicks whatsoever. It's perfectly centered. Lockup's completely solid. I think the jipping could be a little more grippy, but it actually is. I've definitely seen worse, less grippy jipping. So that's actually, yeah. Now that I feel it, it's actually fine. um, yeah. What would even a nitpick be? I can't think of anything. I really can't. Lock bar access is great. I think it's a fantastic knife. I highly recommend this thing. If you live somewhere down south or really anywhere where it's a more humid environment and you have to be careful about rusting your knives, this would be a really good option. Just to not have to even think about it, Think about how freeing that would be. Not have to make sure you keep your blade oiled or wipe it off. It'd be a great food prep knife, camping, fishing. Next time I go fishing, this will absolutely be in my pocket. So yeah, here we go. I forgot to do size comparisons. Let's do a couple real quick. There's the 9. Since I have the shadow out, we can put out the shadow. Spyderco Little Native. PM2. Let's do the Cubit. Kind of a similar knife, actually. CBV Praxis, that's a common one. Hinderer XM18. Let's do one more. Let's do the Malibu. There we go. I love this thing. This is one that probably would never leave my collection. I don't see myself ever getting rid of this. One thing I want to touch on real quick, because this just reminded me of something. I had a comment on a video, and it was someone saying, someone that had watched my my unboxing of the Sebenza after they had watched my video where I said that I had decided to sell my Sebenza, and they said something like, "Oh, this didn't age well. You said that you were never going to sell the knife in your unboxing video." And I was like, guys, it's okay to change your mind. It's not like everything you've ever said you need to be held to. I changed my mind. I found out that it had some blade rock, and I didn't like that. So, anyways, that just reminded me of that. I say now that I'll probably never sell this, but who knows, Never say never, but I just want to say that it's okay to change your mind. You know, I mean that's different than not keeping a promise. That's different. But if you gave your opinion on something and then decided it was not the right opinion or whatever, it's okay. Just change your mind. It's normal. All right, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate it. And I need to, you know what? I was thinking of a catchphrase. You know how some YouTubers have a catchphrase, like a sign off? Stay tough. You're a badass. Let's start the day or whatever. What do you think would be a good catchphrase? Let's try this. All right, that's all, guys. Please like the video before you leave. That would help me out a lot. And let's rumble. I don't know. Anyways, bye-bye.